Previously on the Celebrity World Championship.
As for today's match, we have the former President of the United States, Donald Trump, taking on Chris Pratt, also known by his galactic persona, Star-Lord.
The only thing that'll be improved is your list of excuses when I send your 1970s looking ass to the Shadow Realm.
I'd like to see you try, Grandpa.
So I'll be sacrificing a Blue Eyes from my deck in order to ritual summon one of my favorites, Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. Looks like we found ourselves in a good old-fashioned dragon standoff, haven't we?
Sorry, Trump, but this is where the duel ends. Now, by discarding one overlay unit, I can take control of your Blue Eyes for one turn.
How dare you? And since it's still my battle phase, it's open season on your life points. Now wipe him out, my dragons!
It was an incredible clash of the dragons, and while he put on a grand performance, it seems Blue Eyes has prevailed over Galaxy Eyes as Donald Trump will be advancing on to the next round and has secured a spot in our finals.
I must admit, Obama, I wasn't expecting to be called upon by you, of all people. This is hardly the right place for a chat, though, unless your plan of stopping me involves throwing me off this building.
Trust me, if I wanted to throw you off a roof, I would have picked a taller building. And speaking of tall, Jesus Christ, you're huge. What the hell have you been eating?
Knowledge, Mr. Former President. But let's not kid ourselves. You didn't call me up here for such a trivial conversation. You're here because you still think you can change my mind, don't you?
Well, yeah. Someone's got to talk some sense into that metal dome of yours.
I'm flattered, truly. But you're wasting your breath. Humanity is a plague on this planet and is no longer needed here. Just accept your fate and die gracefully.
Look, I get it, man. You think you're some twisted messiah, here to save us from ourselves by playing judge, jury, and executioner. But here's the thing. Humanity's a work in progress. We mess up.
A lot.
We argue.
A lot.
And God forbid do we make colossal fuck-ups. But the key thing is that we learn from our mistakes and keep pushing forward. We evolve and change for the better.
That is not evolution. Evolution is what you see standing right in front of you. You see, you may not like what I am, but the truth is, I am the culmination of human knowledge, both past and present. But I'll admit that it's thanks to this game, this Yu-Gi-Oh, that I've truly transcended. By analyzing all of you during this tournament, I've thought of new ways to utilize my intelligence that were alien to me before. Kazuki Takahashi is the only human I will acknowledge for creating such an incredible masterpiece.
Amen to that. But I still have to stop you, Ultron. I just can't sit around and let you wipe out my friends and family, but more than that, there's something that I believe I must teach you during our match.
Is that so? Well, you're certainly welcome to try. But I should inform you that unlike my defeated predecessor, I have no intentions of failing my purpose. So bring it on.
Count on it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tom Lively, and as always, I'm joined by my partner in crime, the man who puts the smooth in smooth, JB Smooth. How you feeling today, JB?
Like a proud black man to see a brother make it all the way to the semifinals of this thing, Tom. I can just feel the spirit of T'Challa flowing through my fucking veins.
I definitely share in your enthusiasm, my friend, as we're just one round away from the climactic finale of this grand tournament. Yesterday's match was quite intense between Donald and Star-Lord that ultimately ended in Donald Trump's victory as he now stands as one of our finalists.
Some people might say this shit was rigged for Donald cause this his tournament, but I want to put that narrative to bed right now. Trump might be a donut-loving narcissist, but that motherfucker can duel his ass off and earned his spot in the finals.
Indeed. And now he patiently awaits the winner of this next match. As for today's duel, we have the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama, taking on the metal menace of humanity, Ultron. I'll be honest with you, JB, I don't have the slightest clue on which one of these two powerhouses will come out on top today. Do you?
Your guess is as good as mine, Tom. We all want Obama to win, but Ultron has made it abundantly clear that he ain't fucking around when it comes to dueling. I'll be rooting for my man Obama to get the dub here today, though, so we can finally put an end to that Terminator wannabe once and for all.
And I'm sure all of humanity would agree with you there. Either way, I'm sure we're in for a great duel as we prepare to start the last match of the semifinals. Now then, are both contestants ready to begin?
I'm ready.
I am as well.
Then without further ado, it's time to duel.
Duel! Before we begin, Obama, I'm genuinely curious. What exactly did you mean when you said you were going to teach me something?
It's simple, Ultron. Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't just about numbers, strategy, or winning at all, really. The true purpose of this game is something you've overlooked. It's about having fun.
Fun? Did you just say fun? You're standing on the brink of humanity's extinction, facing off against the pinnacle of artificial intelligence, and you're telling me this is about having fun?
Look, I know it sounds crazy, but
Asinine is more like it.
a wise rapper and weed lover once taught me an important lesson that I had almost forgotten. He said, "Don't get so caught up in the competition that you forget to enjoy the game, my guy." And I think that's something you've never understood since the moment you were born.
Ridiculous. Your species' obsession with escapism and meaningless entertainment is exactly why you're so flawed. Fun doesn't make you stronger. It makes you complacent.
Yeah, well, the way I see it, you may have all the knowledge in the world, but you're still just a humorless toaster with anger issues. You need to learn that sometimes the most human thing you can do is just kick back and enjoy yourself, even when everything's on the line.
Spare me the lecture. I have no interest in your sentimental rubbish. I'm here to win, and you're wasting my time trying to make me see your absurd point of view. Now begin your pathetic turn.
There's nothing absurd about it, but I think we both need a bit of a reset here. So how about we start fresh? And I have just the card to do that as I activate Card of Destruction. Now we both must discard every card in our hands and draw as many from our decks as we just threw away. Think of it like a literal hard reboot for you.
What a nonsensical move. You now have one less card in your hand than you started with.
Perhaps, but I've also managed to set things up perfectly for me in the turns to come. I'll set this monster face down onto the field and drop this little surprise for you as I end my turn.
I draw. I must say, Obama, I'm quite disappointed. For all your talk about teaching me something profound, you've opened with one of the most uninspiring moves in Duel Monsters. I expected much more from a duelist of your stature.
Haste makes waste, my friend.
I am not your friend.
Yeah, I can tell. Maybe you wouldn't be such an angsty emo bot if you had one.
Friendship is nothing but a crutch for the weak who can't stand on their own. It didn't save Ben Shapiro, it didn't save Joe Biden, and it most certainly won't save you.
Well, that remains to be seen. Make no mistake, though, Ultron. I'll be sure to pay you back with interest for each one of my friends you took down.
And how do you plan on doing that with your pitiful field and near-empty hand? You'll soon realize that discarding both our hands was a grave mistake as I activate the field spell Gear Town. But it won't be sitting on the field for long as I also activate Ancient Gear Catapult. And with this, I can destroy my field spell in order to special summon any Ancient Gear monster I desire from my deck. So come forth, Ancient Gear Golem. But he's far from the only Titan you have to deal with, as thanks to Gear Town being destroyed, I can special summon the Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon that was sitting in my graveyard.
Let me guess. It got there because of me, right?
Very observative of you, Barack. Perhaps America would be in a better state if you were this observant during your reign.
You.
I now activate the spell Iron Draw, allowing me to draw 2 cards from my deck since I control exactly 2 machine monsters on the field. Let's see if you'll still find dueling against the likes of me fun once I proceed to battle. Ancient Gear Golem, pulverize that face down with mechanized melee. And thanks to my Golem's effect, not only are you restricted from activating any spell or trap cards during his assault, but you'll also take the difference between its attack and your monster's defense. What blasphemy is this?
I'd like to introduce you to my Fortress Warrior. And not only does he negate all battle damage from your attacks, but you have to destroy him twice in the same turn if you want him gone.
No matter. If Ancient Gear Golem wasn't enough, then my Reactor Dragon will finish the job. And since Reactor Dragon launched an attack this turn, I can now destroy a spell or trap card on the field. So say goodbye to that worthless face down.
I think you'll regret doing that, Circuit Board.
And why's that?
Because the card you just destroyed was Waking the Dragon. And when this bad boy is destroyed, I can special summon any monster I want, straight from either my main or extra deck.
What?
You heard me. So say hello to a monster that's about to turn the tide, as I now special summon Dark Cavalry. And as I'm sure you noticed, Dark Cavalry gains an extra 100 attack points for every spell or trap card, not just on the field, but also in both our graveyards, which makes him more than a match for either of your scraps of metal.
I do not understand. I've analyzed your deck thoroughly, and cards such as Fortress Warrior and Waking the Dragon were never in your strategy.
It's like I told you before, Ultron. Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't just about winning, it's about enjoying yourself. I chose Fortress Warrior because it reminded me of good old Bill, and I chose Waking the Dragon because Joe's always losing his shit whenever we wake him up from a nap.
You mean to tell me you've compromised your deck's efficiency just to pay homage to your so-called friends? This is not rational. You're sacrificing optimal strategy for sentimental garbage.
Look who's talking. If efficiency was really all that mattered to you, you wouldn't have chosen a deck like Ancient Gears in the first place. You could have picked any number of top-tier meta decks to assure your victory in this tournament, and yet you didn't. You want to know why? It's because just like the rest of us, you wanted to express yourself through your deck and chose a set of cards that spoke to you. Isn't that right?
Shut up. Even if that's the case, it won't change anything, as I set these two cards face down and end my turn.
Trust me, Ultron. It'll change everything. You said before that I'd regret dumping my hand, right? Well, on the contrary, it's thanks to that I'm able to activate Soul Servant from my graveyard. And by banishing it, I'm allowed to draw 2 cards since I have both a Dark Magician and a Palladium Oracle Mahad in my graveyard. Next, I'll activate the Spell Monster Reborn in order to revive the Dark Magician that I discarded on my first turn. But he won't be staying for long as I activate Polymerization in order to fuse my Dark Magician with the Dark Magician Girl in my hand to summon the Dark Magicians. Time to battle. Now, Dark Cavalry, destroy his Reactor Dragon. Next, attack his Ancient Gear Golem.
Intriguing. You never struck me as suicidal, Obama.
And give you the satisfaction? I don't think so. My magicians may be weak now, but they'll look a lot tougher once I discard my Apprentice Magician from my hand in order to boost my monster's attack by 2,000 points. You want to explain to me why your towering piece of scrap is still up and kicking?
I'd love to. See, by banishing Cross-Dimensional Duel from my graveyard, I was able to prevent Ancient Gear Golem's destruction for this turn. Another delicious benefit from the costly mistake you made of emptying my hand.
Well, I'll admit you got me there. Looks like I'll have to keep my eye on your graveyard from now on.
My draw. Something has changed in Obama. He's no longer weighed down by the expectations of defeating me anymore. It almost seems like he's enjoying himself, even when things don't go his way. Is this the fun he was talking about? To become so engrossed in the game that nothing else matters? Well, there's only one way to find out. Your new attitude has piqued my interest, Obama. If you truly mean what you said about enjoying yourself, then I'd like to see how you handle despair after I summon Ancient Gear Wyvern. And when Wyvern is summoned, its effect allows me to add Ancient Gearbox to my hand. Now, since Ancient Gearbox was retrieved directly from my deck to my hand, its ability lets me also grab Ancient Gear Frame. I'll now activate Ancient Gear Fusion in order to fuse every Ancient Gear monster, both in my hand and on my field, in order to call forth the ultimate machine, Chaos Ancient Gear Giant.
I forgot to mention, but since you activated a spell card while my magician is on the field, its ability lets me draw a card. And since the card I just drew isn't a monster, I can immediately set it.
As if that'll help you against the overwhelming power of my Chaos Giant, who is unaffected by any spell or trap cards.
And whoever said it would be for him.
Is that so? You're quite the tease, aren't you?
Among my many talents, foreplay's definitely one of them.
Then by all means, blow me away with your pillow talk.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this is getting kinda zesty.
Good. Then that means we're getting somewhere. Now let us battle. Now, my Chaos Giant, destroy his Dark Magicians. And due to Chaos Giant's ability to launch another attack, say goodbye to your Dark Cavalry as well. That will be all for now.
My draw.
Tell me, are you still finding enjoyment in your predicament, Obama?
Are you kidding? I'm having a blast right now, and I can tell that you're starting to as well.
I suppose I am. Your ability to smile and laugh even in the face of adversity is amusing. But how exactly do you plan on dealing with my boss monster?
Well, since you brought out yours, it's only fair that I brought one of my own, right?
Wait, does that mean—
I activate Magicalized Fusion. And by banishing 5 magicians from my graveyard, I can fusion summon the one and only Quintet Magician. And since I used 5 different magicians in its summon, my magician's ability lets me wipe out every card on your field.
A clever move, Obama. But you'll have to do better than that, as I activate Infinite Impermanence to negate your magician's effect.
Damn, I really thought I had you there. Looks like we're in a bit of a stalemate here.
Indeed. Now end your turn so I can wipe you out on my next turn.
Well, guess it's time to battle.
What? You're attacking my monster knowing full well they'll destroy each other.
Of course. You think I'll just sit around and let you combo me on the next turn? At least this way we'll both be monsterless.
No! This is not in my calculations. I can't afford to lose my Chaos Giant now. Too bad, Obama. Because I'm choosing to banish Electromagnetic Turtle in my graveyard in order to cut your battle phase short.
Nice move there, Tin Head. You've always got a surprise up your sleeve. I guess that'll be it from me this turn.
I draw. This is exhilarating. I've never felt this way before. This sense of euphoria as I try to predict an unpredictable opponent is almost like—
Like you're actually having fun, right? Yeah, I know the feeling. Once you leave all that bullshit at the door and just enjoy yourself, you start to appreciate the game in a whole new light.
I see. So this is what you were talking about. Yes, I quite like this feeling. If I can harness this pleasurable sensation into my calculations, I can ascend to even greater heights. Now show me more, Obama. Show me everything that you are.
Are you trying to duel me or fuck me?
Both. I now summon Night Express Knight by reducing its attack points to 0. And since I just summoned an Earth attribute monster, I can special summon Heavy Freight Train Derrick Crane. I now overlay my 2 level 10 machine monsters in order to XZ summon Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max.
I see you're bringing out the big guns.
Oh, more than you can imagine, my deliciously tanned friend. But your face down has me curious as to how you plan on dealing with this situation. So I think I'll change things up a bit and proceed to battle.
Not so fast, Ultron. Before you do that, I'll be banishing my Necro Garden in my graveyard, and in doing so, your first attack this turn will be negated.
Incredible! He saw through my strategy immediately to make him waste his face down in order to corner him. You never cease to amaze me, Obama. But you've only managed to prolong your defeat. Now, Chaos Giant, attack his magician. And with your Necro Gardener's effect now gone, I'll have my Rail Cannon attack as well. And with the power of limiter removal, I can double his attack points in order to crush your ace monster. It seems that face-down card was truly a bluff, and if that's the case, I'll gladly press the attack by activating my Rail Cannon's effect, discarding an overlay unit in order to inflict 2,000 points of damage to your life points.
I thought you would. So I'll be activating my trap, Damage Polarizer. And with this card, I can negate your Rail Cannon's effect, as we both are now forced to draw from our decks.
I can only assume you added that card to your deck as a specific counter to my Rail Cannon. A brilliant decision, Obama.
I'd like to say the same thing about you, but since you just activated limiter removal, you'll have to say goodbye to your Rail Cannon as a drawback to that card.
Oh, do I now? I believe it's still my turn, and I'm planning on showing you a level of power even greater than my Chaos Giant.
What?
I now overlay my Gustav Max and rank up XE's summon, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut Libe. And since limiter removal doesn't affect Chaos Giant and Libe was just summoned, its drawback is negated.
Clever girl.
And that's not all. By using one overlay unit, I can raise my Juggernaut Libe's attack by 2,000 points. I end my turn. You found yourself in a situation as hopeless as you can imagine, Obama. Now show me how you plan on defying these insurmountable odds.
Gladly. I now activate Pot of Extravagance, and by banishing 6 random cards from my extra deck, I can draw 2 cards. It all comes down to this. If I just believe in the heart of the cards, they'll guide me to victory.
That's right, Barack. Always believe in your deck, and it will never let you down.
Thank you, Yummy. And I'm sorry that I yelled at you before. I was a real jerk.
You are forgiven, my dear friend. Now draw your cards, cook his ass, and save the world. Don't forget, you have plot armor on your side.
Bet. I activate the spell Dark Magic Veil. And by paying 1,000 life points, I can special summon the Dark Magician I had in my hand straight onto the field. I then activate the Eye of Timaeus. And by using my Dark Magician as a sacrifice, I can fusion summon Dark Magician, the Knight of Dragon Magic. And since my life points are lower than yours right now, it's the perfect time to activate Megamorph.
Megamorph? But that card's even more ancient than my own deck.
And that's why you never saw it coming. Now, thanks to Megamorph, I can double my Dragon Knight's attack points. Now destroy his Chaos Giant, my Knight.
An excellent move, Barack. But I've taken your best shot, and I'm still standing.
Not for long, Rust Bucket, because I'm now activating my Dragon Knight's special ability. And since my Knight destroyed a monster in battle, you take damage equal to that monster's attack points.
But that means that
It means that this game is over, and that you finally lost. I promised I'd teach you the joy of having fun, but that also meant teaching you the pain of defeat. Now wipe him out!
Sorry to interrupt your little monologue, but in case you've forgotten, I still have a face-down Barack.
Oh no.
Oh yes. I activate my trap. Barrel behind the door.
And just what the hell does that do?
What it does, Mr. Former President, is the same thing as the damage polarizer you used against me, except with a twist. Instead of negating the damage, it sends it right back at you.
The fuck? I thought you said I have plot armor on my side.
Well, shit. I guess he's got it too.
I truly enjoyed this match with you, Obama. Stand proud. You are strong, but I am perfect.
Folks, I don't even know where to begin. As much as it pains me to say it, the winner of today's match is Ultron. I'm honestly still trying to process what just happened. JB, what did we just watch?
Oh, I'll tell you what we just watched. We just saw the biggest Uno reverse in history.
I'm right there with you, JB. Obama had every card lined up perfectly. That Megamorph play was brilliant, and he was just about to deliver the final blow before Ultron revealed he had anticipated even that.
Ain't nobody saw that coming, not even Obama. And he's usually got the foresight of a damn Jedi. I mean, how many people even remember that trap card exists?
You're right, JB. Ultron's usual style is all about overpowering his opponents, making them feel insignificant and hopeless. But today, he seemed almost intrigued. It's like Obama's whole message about having fun got into his head, and we saw Ultron really enjoy a duel for the first time.
We all thought that robot was a heartless machine, but it just goes to show you that even a bunch of circuits and wires can enjoy the game of dual monsters.
Well said, JB. Now then, why don't we hear some parting words from Obama, who is exiting the tournament?
Thanks, Tom. I gotta say, I'm not upset at all. Sure, I didn't get the win, and I got outsmarted. And humanity's probably f***ed, but hey, that was the most fun I've had in a duel that I can remember.
You had that shit in the bag, Obama. But I guess you ran out of plot armor. You definitely got my respect, though, for how hard you dueled out there.
I appreciate it, JB. I know a lot of people out there might be upset at this outcome, but I did my best, and it just wasn't enough.
Well said, sir. Your performance today will inspire duelists all across the globe and remind everyone about what this game stands for. Thank you for giving us such a memorable match. Now then, why don't we hear some words from our winner?
You have my thanks, Obama. You've shown me something I never expected to find in this game. An emotion that I had dismissed as irrelevant. I understand now that even though humanity is deeply flawed, you've proven to me that there is something worthwhile within your species.
Oh shit! Maybe Obama changed that robot for the good and he's not gonna kill us all now.
Oh, make no mistake. When I win this tournament, I will exterminate you all. Starting with you, JB.
What the hell did I ever do to you?
Yeah, you better run, you fake-ass Megatron-sounding bitch.
Oh, hell no. That's fake news, AI generated. Some deepfakes, I tell you.
An unlikely story. Now, if you gentlemen will excuse me, I have a finals to prepare for. I hope you're ready, Donald Trump. Because now that I've acquired the sensation of fun into my calculations, you are as good as dead.
How come no one told me that motherfucker keeps receipts?
Would that have stopped you even if you knew?
Hell no. I probably would have said some even crazier shit, honestly.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, folks, Obama may have given Ultron his toughest challenge to date, but it doesn't look like anyone can stop the terrorizing terabyte, as Ultron will be advancing to the finals to face off against Donald Trump. It's been a long journey, JB, but we finally have our two finalists for the Celebrity World Championship. Was this an outcome you could have predicted when this tournament began?
If you told me that the last two dudes standing in a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament would be Donald Trump and Ultron, I would have bitch-slapped you across the face for talking crazy.
It sounds insane just thinking about it, doesn't it?
Yep, but that's what makes this shit so good. Speaking of Trump, though, I wonder how he's gonna take it that Obama lost before they could duel again.
Not too well, I imagine, given that was his primary motivation for starting this tournament. Perhaps that might change in the upcoming losers tournament that was rumored to begin soon, but who knows? In any case, that's all for today's show, folks. Join us again next time for the beginning of a special event before the finals begin. Tom Lively out.